for being present this afternoon. I was actually, myself and Tom were supposed to be in Florida today, but we decided there's no way we're going to stay in Florida and miss this. So we got back late last night, so we just want to honor Joe for 50. I asked him how many students he's had. He has no idea. So thousands, but we just want to thank you so much for your service. I also shared that I feel thank you is inadequate, but it's what we want to be able to do, is just say thank you for your many years of service and blessing to the students, but also to our community, to your fellow faculty, to the staff. You've been a great blessing. I shared a little bit a couple of days ago, but what I'm thinking as I knew I was going to be here was there's a sense of dignity about you, an honor about you, so we just want to thank you for sharing that with us, for our community, most especially with our students. So congratulations, 50 years well served.
Thank you for all being here today to celebrate Professor Zoric. Just want to say a few words here if I could. The year was 1971, and my father, the late Professor Edward J. Kelly, hired Professor Joseph Zoric to teach economics at the College of Steubenville. Since that time, students have been instructed by the man who has done more to promote the bow tie industry as well as the principles and benefits of the free market economics than any other. The year is now 2021. 50 years have passed. 5 decades of service to any institution is a monumental achievement. And during this time, Professor Zoric has watched us grow. During his tenure, Joe watched the College of Steubenville incur significant difficulties and be in serious danger of closing. He then saw Father Michael Scanlon dynamically change the direction of our institution by making Christ front and center of everything that we do. He saw a new chapel, dorm buildings, a field house, a science building, a significant growth in enrollment, the arrival of our new president, Father Dave Pavanka, and the Step of Faith program coming to be during COVID. In short, he saw the Holy Spirit lovingly guide Franciscan University of Steubenville through triumphs and dilemmas as it continues to strive to send forth joyful disciples into the world. I personally have known Professor Zoric since I was 11 years old. That is another 50-year period, by the way. That dawned on me. For 10 years, Joe and my father grew very close. I remember Dad telling me that getting Joe Zoric to be a member of his department was one of the finest decisions he ever made. I can also remember the letter that Joe wrote about my father on April 15, 1981, the day my dad died. He was a tax professor, and he dies on tax day, God bless him. Joe stated that in regards to my father, a better person has never walked this campus. Praise indeed. Then in 1982, I added economics as a second major, and Joe became my academic advisor and professor. Also that year, he became my site advisor, which is now called CSFE. And he promoted the free enterprise system by leading the student organization Students in Free Enterprise on our campus for approximately 25 years, until yours truly succeeded him in 2004. Now, during the 1980s and 1990s, Joe published articles with my late sister, Dr. Eileen Keller. In the spring of 1999, Joe called me and asked me if I wanted to come home. The following semester, Professor Zoric and I became professional colleagues. To be working side by side with someone who molded your economic and academic convictions was a pleasure, to say the least. It took me 6 years to call him Joe. He was always Professor Zoric for those 6 years. In the past 6 years that I've been the chair of the department, he's always been there to give me his wise advice. I've also discovered that arguing with him about social and economic issues is like debating Obi-Wan. He looks at you calmly and coolly, and with that wonderful smile and laugh, shows you, most likely in graphical form, that you are dead wrong. Now, this passion for economics is augmented by his recreational passions, which for many years was basketball. He was commonly known as the professor who could steal the ball quite effectively from students who competed against him on the court. He was also known to jog 5 miles a day for years until he finally became enthralled and dedicated to the game of golf. I will miss every semester Joe asking me not to schedule classes for him on Tuesdays and Thursdays because those were his golf days. Okay? But in the end, it is the philosophy that Joe teaches that is infectious. When I question students in class who have taken him, I ask them, what happens if we raise the minimum wage? They immediately answer, the quantity demanded for labor will go down. To which I always say, Obi-Wan has taught you well. He has shared his knowledge and love of free market economics with newspapers, television, radio, social media, to Kiwanis clubs, Rotaries, and countless other business organizations for years and years. He has been the economic voice for the department for 50 years, and his impact is real and tangible. 8 of our 15 Business Advisory Board members have been taught by him, and 4 of the faculty members of our department have been taught by him. But it is the personality of Joe that makes him so special. We all have witnessed the pleasure, humor, and happiness that he exudes on a daily basis. Where does this come from? The answer begins with his lovely wife. And the secret fact here is that not only is this his 50th year working at Franciscan, but he's been married 50 years to his beautiful wife, Jenny. The happiness beaming on his face is also due to his son, Andy, and his wife, April. And then there is two unbelievably beautiful grandchildren. If any of you had the pleasure of seeing on Facebook Joe dancing with his grandson this past Christmas, it was a perfect image of what family bliss is all about and how much God has blessed Professor Joseph Zoric. But it's important for you to know, Joe, how much God has blessed us with your brilliant career. To stay dedicated and loyal to any institution for 50 years amazingly shows the loving commitment you have at Franciscan University of Steubenville for the Department of Accounting, Business, and Economics. Please know that we love you just as deeply. Good luck with your retirement. May God bless you, Ginny, Andy, April, and your grandchildren for many years to come. And in closing, I'm sure my father would like to reciprocate to you, if you were here, as well as my sister, our department, and all of your friends and colleagues when we say that when it comes to Professor Joseph Zoric, a better person has never walked his campus.
That was, I never expected anything like that. I thought we were going to have some cookies and punch. And that was really wonderful. There's not much I can add to what has been said, but I'd like to just end this little thing with a little story. Many years ago, actually it was decades ago, I took my bride to a concert. And it was one of those outdoor concerts under the stars, and it was a beautiful summer night. It was the stars were out, and the concert was Duke Ellington's orchestra. And as I say, it was a perfect evening. The stars were beautiful. My bride was beautiful. You can see she's still beautiful. But the concert was wonderful. And at the end of the concert, Duke Ellington introduced the members of his orchestra. And after that, he turned to the audience and he said, "Of course you know we love you madly." And that's what I like to say to you folks. I love you madly. I've loved my 50 years here, and I wish all of you the best, and thank you for all of the last 50 years of my life. Has gone by pretty quickly.